Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your mid-November 2022 general tarot reading. It's Rena here. Fellow Sun and Sag for you guys. Yay! I almost got like a tingling in my crown chakra when I thought about that. No, I didn't get a king. Let me pick an additional card. Sweet. I would not end my reading on Five of Pentacles being a Sag. Are you effing kidding me? Yeah. And it's funny because I'm not one of those people that gets these, hits or something like that. Like psychic hits. I don't know what that is, but the crown chakra, the seventh chakra, that's where the pineal gland is. But, if you listen to ASMR, you get tingles, right? And they're usually in the head. And I really think that ASMR is stimulating the upper chakras. But the point is that it's almost like a resonance with me. That's not like a sign that I get when I do readings, so that's something I'm paying attention to. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Six of Cups. And I was even wondering if that kind of tingle came from this card too, because what thought came into my mind is the thing that you've wanted ever since you were a child. And really, I'm talking about the dream of your life. Now, I'm sure there might be some of you out there who didn't have that, who just was like, who just played and that was it. But for some of us, we have nurtured a dream since childhood. And sometimes that dream takes a detour in your life and you kind of put it on the back burner, or you put it on the shelf in some cases where you don't even deal with it at all. It's not even, it's not even simmering. It's just, in the back. But it comes out for you. And when I said that, my scalp started tingling too. So I'm very excited. Maybe it's just me for my life. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I get with the Six of Cups, is that kind of energy, because this is the energy of childhood and the idyllic time of life when everything was simpler. We didn't have those responsibilities of adulthood. But in addition to that, sometimes something emerges like a passion, a talent, and you are obsessed with it. You just live and breathe it. And then life, usually in adolescence, there's a point where teenagers kind of come back down to earth. And they, not all, some continue to pursue their passion, but some have other things going on that kind of make it hard for them to remain consistent. And for some people, it could be in your 20s when this happens, when you are entering the quote-unquote real world, right? So I want you to think about that. If there's something that you have been dreaming about bringing back into your life, usually I think of it as creative talents, but some of you may have spiritual gifts that you kind of shoved away because others did not approve of them. And this, I'm talking to you as well, because I personally don't know anybody who did that, with that particular story, but I'm sure that they're out there. So, since it came out of my mouth, maybe it was meant for somebody to hear. Also, this is a soulmate card. So if some of you Sages are you're single and looking, or unfortunately, if you're coupled and you are unhappy, and you feel that you are not with the right person, either way, there might be somebody from your past who comes back in. And I'm trying to think now, because this is the Mars retrograde, not the Venus or the Mercury retrograde. So, I don't know. I don't want to speculate about that. I feel like any personal planet that retrogrades can bring things back to us from the past, or, you know, like some kind of an issue too, not just a person. So I just want you to think about that. Also, this is a card of children. So maybe your children, you're thinking about having children, or your children are visiting, or you become a grandparent and you get to relive that wonder of a child. In the past position, the Four of Swords is a contemplative energy. Of course, when the sun goes into Scorpio, that is the 12th house, whether you're talking about the solar chart for Sun and Sagittarius or natal chart for Sag rising. And that sense of being in a contemplative mood, you know, what it is that you want to do with your life. And in some cases, or just your, not just like in your mundane life, but your spiritual life. And just by thinking of those things and being intentional and not just going through the motions of life, I feel like we can attract more of the things that we want, even if we're not doing some kind of law of attraction ritual or anything, just by giving respect to, you know, our needs, our dreams. I feel that is enough to kind of get the ball rolling. The higher message is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a card of alignment. Well, that's what I call it. It can be a card of luck, a change of fortune, but in this case, it would be a good, you know, a change for the better, because this is in the upright position, but kind of like a turning point in your life. And we are going to have a new moon on November 23rd. This is the mid-month reading. I'm sure I'll be doing a reading for later in November. And just this idea of being aligned, which some people call good luck. I call it being aligned, because I feel as if you are in the right place at the right time when your consciousness is has clarity, and you're not in reactive mode. When you're just kind of in that receptive mode, the divine feminine, that's when things start to really gel. I heard somebody, you know, talk about the masculine in a negative sense, meaning that over masculine, I should say, meaning this idea of like making things happen and being very pushy about it. But there's something in the law of attraction called the art of allowing that also plays into things, that we can't just do one without the other. If you're just allowing, then you're just like sitting there eating bonbons. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who is kind of like able to know when to, you know, I was thinking of Kenny Rogers, know when to hold them and know when to fold them, but really know when to, you know, push forward and when to just kind of be in the flow. Okay, I got to put this to the side. What crosses you? 8 of Wands. 2 possibilities here. Feeling inertia. When you're feeling inertia, because in the upright position, and it isn't how I picked that card, it just means I always read it as the reversed or the challenge. In the upright position, the 8 of Wands is like, you might have been having a lull in the action and everything just starts to just rock and roll. And in those cases, you know, just like I said, there's a time for everything. So when you are in that sense of inertia, and maybe that's what the Wheel of Fortune is really kind of speaking on, is that, the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter, so Jupiter's retrograde. And Jupiter goes direct on November 23rd when we have a new moon in Sag. So that might be saying Jupiter is going direct. So everything is going to start to speed up for you as a sign that is ruled by Jupiter. So the problem is that some people can get so lost in the inertia, then when the opportunities start coming, they're still kind of, in that foggy mode. You never have to be in inertia. Even when things aren't happening, when you're trying to force the issue, you can still be working in a more passive sense, but you could be doing something else that is still, like if you have your own business, for instance. And you know what? I have to learn that myself, because I tend to get into these kind of tunnel vision situations where I just want to do, one thing, but when something can't be done, I don't go and shift to plan B. So that's kind of what I'm interpreting from that card, that you have to just shift to plan B. But that I do feel too that you have to be prepared, because you may get like a lot, like if you have your own business and it kind of slowed down these past few months when Jupiter's been retrograde, and then all of a sudden it's doing boffo business, especially since the Jupiter direct just so happens to come at the time of the holiday season. If you have something that's connected to the holidays, and then all of a sudden you're just like totally overwhelmed, when you could have been kind of prepping, maybe doing kind of practical things while you don't have as many clients or things like that, so that when things do blow up again, that you don't have to worry about those other things that you have to take care of. Like I said, it's easier said than done. I'm acting very practical and grounded here when actually I have to take my own advice. What's coming in, luckily, I haven't been as stagnant lately business-wise, so that's been awesome. What's coming in is the Empress card. This is connected to planet Venus and, by extension, Taurus and Libra. So those people may be playing a part in your life in the near future, and that could, the Empress is a very nice card, so that could be helping you in some way. But in any case, the Empress is another card that talks about motherhood. So it could be that you're finding out that you're expecting, or you're anticipating a birth. And even with the Four of Swords, if you have separated from someone and then you find out you're pregnant, you're kind of like, we're trying to collect your thoughts. This is something that you're really focusing on. But for the artist, this is really a great card, The Empress is about being a creator. And it's also a good money card. So that's awesome as well. And speaking of which, the outcome is the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of lack consciousness. So, and also maybe placing too much importance on the material. But sometimes, this could be somebody who's out of work. So maybe you find out you're pregnant when you're unemployed and you're like, how am I going to do this? When people are too caught up in the mundane side of things, it makes it very hard for them to just celebrate the spiritual blessing of being, having a child that's coming in. And that should be the first and foremost. Having that spiritual life, if you've kind of let it fall by the wayside, because then you're much less likely to worry about material things. And just also fearing, like if you are choosing to be an artist, fearing that you're going to be a starving artist. And it might be something that is logical based on this moment where it's like, if you were just to up and quit a job and you had no money in the bank and you had no backup, that might be a really stupid thing to do. I don't know. But the thing is, it's like that doesn't mean that you're doomed to that situation. You can take it into consideration without being fear-based. So I picked a kind of a clarification card, and you heard me when I was like, yes, because I love this card as a minor arcana card, the Three of Wands, which is that card of choosing expansion. That's what I believe we're here for. So the number 3, just like the Empress is 3, that is number of creativity. And fire is 2 as a suit. The wands are expansion and creativity. This can, be whatever it is, what ideas that you possess. That you can be someone who achieves your dreams, maybe since you were a child. But you have to, maybe you need to go in new territory. I think the Wheel of Fortune might also connect to travel, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. So maybe that is something that you have been debating about. Should I or shouldn't I? And you decide to do it. And you decide to go for it. And then you go into a whole new type of environment. And that will stimulate you and that will inspire you. But anyway, that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope that this resonated. And if you would like a private reading, given that it is our solar return coming up pretty soon, I have a double reading called the Deep Dive reading, which has an hour of natal chart interpretation with an hour of transits for the upcoming 12 months. And it's using your exact chart, not this generalized crap on YouTube where I'm just kind of guesstimating for you. I can't say specifically for you. But anyway, that's called my deep dive reading. That's a package deal, so it's a sale price. I have other readings available as well. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.